Come and unlock your power.
Good morning, and thank you so much for coming along. I think people are still logging in, but we will start. I'll start the intros just to keep us on time. So, hi everyone. My name's Naomi, and I run Get Organised, and we're a bit like Tinder for Business, basically. We have a fully skilled team ready to go, and we can help you in all aspects of business. SMEs Unleashed is our community, and we want to bring as many people together as possible, and we want to save you time, and we want to keep you sane. So SMEs obviously stands for small medium-sized enterprise, and it also stands for subject matter expert. And today we have Natalie, who is our subject matter expert. Natalie, I'm going to hand over to you. Obviously these are 30 minutes long, so time is of the essence. So over to you, Natalie.
Thanks, Naomi. Thanks for thanks for the opportunity to be here today, and good morning to everybody who's watching live or on the replay. My name's Natalie. I'm founder and director of Naturally Social. Naturally Social is a consultancy specialising in social media and marketing support. And over the last 3 years, I've completely transformed my business using artificial intelligence, specifically generative AI, in both our work and our clients' work. And that's why I'm here today. So I'm going to just crack on with the presentation. So bear with me a sec, and then I'm going to keep this to 20 minutes, hopefully. Usually I was saying to Naomi, I do a prompting masterclass, and it usually takes about an hour. So I've condensed this down, and then we'll take some questions at the end. But it's a really great topic, actually, because so many people, a bit like social media was back in the day, people kind of didn't understand what AI was 18 months ago. But now, because it's so accessible, everybody's kind of using it, and people are getting really mixed results. And it does all come down to the prompting. So here's a bit about us on the socials. Do follow us after today. Some of you will be familiar with most of these chatbots. Now, you might also hear the term large language models. Now, chatbots are slightly different to large language models. Large language models are the infrastructure of AI, of generative AI in particular, that holds all of the data. The chatbots are actually the interface in which you use it and access those services. And the four main chatbots that we use, and everybody's familiar with likely, is ChatGPT by OpenAI, Claude, which is created by Anthropic, Copilot by Microsoft, and Gemini by Google. And before we get into the prompting, I want to go through some strengths and weaknesses. Most people are probably most familiar with ChatGPT, and this next section of the presentation might make you change your mind on what you're using. So I like to call ChatGPT the Swiss Army knife of chatbots, because it kind of does it all. It is the first chatbot that people became familiar with. It's right at the forefront of innovation. All of the tools are kind of introduced onto and seen on ChatGPT first. So you can do most of everything that you need to do, basically, with ChatGPT. Claude by Anthropic, we call that the human one. It is built specifically to look, to produce and feel more human. So if you are looking for content writing, or you're a writer yourself, highly recommend Claude as a chatbot of choice for any copywriting. It just comes out so much better than ChatGPT. Gemini is the one for detail. It's great at strategy. Obviously this is Google's offering, so it's gonna be great at that. It's got access to all of that really lovely data from Google. And Copilot is, we would call, the safe choice, because fundamentally it's within the Microsoft environment, and Microsoft is known for that enterprise grade security. So some strengths and weaknesses of each of those platforms. With ChatGPT, the advanced data analysis is phenomenal. The deep research mode is really great. You can create custom GPTs. You can create images now with text, which is brilliant. Vision mode, so open up your phone, open up your ChatGPT app and show it your surroundings, ask where you are and it will tell you. Or I like to take pictures of, say, my fridge contents and ask it, what could I do with this? Give me a recipe. So there's some really great use cases with ChatGPT on vision mode. A business use case that I use it for is I make a lot of handwritten notes and one-to-one notes as well with members of the team on paper and post-its. I just take pictures of those, put it into ChatGPT and ask it to create that into a Word document and format it for me, and it saves so much time. Weaknesses about ChatGPT though is I really don't think it creates great copy. I think you have to spend a lot of time to get it to that point. It's got a low context window as well, particularly if you're on the lower paid plans or the free plan. A context window being how much you can talk within a specific chat, and then how much it memorizes, and it glitches a lot. We've then got Claude. As I said, strengths for Claude is very human sounding. It's got incredible ideation, so it makes a great brainstorming partner. It also has vision mode, and it has extended thinking, which means that it takes longer to create better outputs. And it has Claude projects, so this is Claude's version of custom GPT, so you can make your own chatbots within ChatGPT or Claude, in fact all of them. And then some weaknesses for Claude: it doesn't yet create imagery, it's got a fairly low context window, and again lots of glitches, and that's something that you'll see across most of chatbots because it's tech and it's not perfect. So Google Gemini, great integration with the Google Workspace. It can hold pretty decent conversations. It's got a longer, much larger context window, actually, like triple of the others. So you can have much deeper conversations with it. It can access the internet. It can listen to your docs. You can ask it for strategic advice. In fact, I really kind of lean into Gemini for that strategic work. And it also has Google Gems within it as well. But some weaknesses are that it can often give you some inconsistent responses in its quality or depth. And then we've got Copilot, which 18 months or so ago I'd be saying don't use Copilot at all, but actually I've been working with a lot more corporates over the last 12 months or so, and now have the paid for Copilot within our own work environment, and I really rate it. And what people don't know about Copilot is that it's actually built on ChatGPT's infrastructure. So it looks, acts, behaves like ChatGPT. It's just that some of the features that ChatGPT has doesn't get released into Copilot. There's usually quite a lot of delay because naturally Microsoft wants to test it all and how it works in its own environment. So the Copilot Studio is really great. You can create agents. They call them agents. They're actually just custom GPTs. It can create images, and it integrates with all of your Microsoft Workspace and Office products. So, it can look at your email inbox. You can adjust the tone and writing to be on brand with how you write. You can call on different documents across your workspace. So yeah, really, really great. But the copywriting element of it for marketing context isn't as good as the other ones, I would say. So let's get on to prompting then. Bad prompts. A lot of people still prompt like this because, again, it's quite easy to have those very natural conversations with chatbots. Most people are prompting a bit like a Google search. They're only giving it 1 or 2 sentences. It's pretty vague. And most importantly, they're free of any real context or detail. Hopefully you guys aren't prompting like this, or you're starting to develop it a little bit more. But Commonly I see things like write me a 500-word blog on content marketing, or rewrite this email to make it sound more formal. There's some clear things missing here, such as if you look at this first prompt, well, who's the blog intended? What's the blog's intended audience? What element of content marketing are we focusing on? How do you want to break down the structure? How many paragraphs should there be? What does good look like? Who are you in this scenario? And the same for all of those prompts, really. The context and the detail are missing. So the framework that we teach our clients is the 3 C's framework, and that's character, context, and clarity. When we think about character, it's really important that you tell your chatbot how it needs to think. So, should it be an expert marketer, or should it be a chief financial officer at a tech firm with 30 years experience in scaling businesses? And it's also really important that the AI knows who you are and what your role is. And that allows it to ask you the right questions if it needs clarity, but also allows it to frame the response, particularly in a content scenario. Context-wise, so examples are really important here, and we often call this knowledge or information. So again, what does good look like? AI is really great at mimicking stuff, and everything that it creates isn't unique. So if you provide it with as much knowledge as possible and examples, it's going to create the best output for you. And you need to ensure that you're really clear in what you want out of it. Give me this in 5 bullet points, give me 3 pages, etc. So a really simple example for a prompt within those 3 C's framework would be this example here for LinkedIn writing. So in the character section, I want it to behave. It's quite old actually, so rather than act as, you can just say you are these days. So you are a LinkedIn ghostwriter. I'm an AI trainer who specialises in non-technical training, and I've attached my brochure, and then I start to give it some more context about my audience, and you can see that I've mentioned in a few occasions what I'm attaching to give it that knowledge: my brochure, my pricing, my audience details, and then in my clarity at the end, I'm telling it that an idea is a topic with 3 bullet points and reasons why it would help my audience. So in the last kind of 7 minutes or so, I'm just going to take that through in a little bit more detail. So the scenario for this is blog writing. So we're gonna build a prompt around blogging, and we want to look at character, context, and clarity. For a blog, these are the kind of things that I would be writing a prompt with that in mind. So for character, we would likely want the AI to act as a copywriter or a content writer or a marketing strategist. And we'd also give them some personality traits. So in this character section, talking about the industry, speciality or specialism, years of experience, is it known for anything in particular, that kind of thing. And then for my character, I'd be adding in there that I'm the director of Naturally Social, and the purpose of this blog is to attract X, Y, and Z, or to use in my newsletter for customer retention, that sort of thing. And then in my context, I would be giving examples of previous blogs I've written that have done really well. I could even download Google Analytics and upload those into the context area and say, analyze this to find out which ones have worked better. It could be some research from Google on keywords. And I would also include my service information, who my ideal persona was, who I'm trying to target, and fundamentally my brand guidelines is really important here. And then in the clarity section, I would also outline what best practice looks like for blogging. So when I say write a blog, I want it to be, featured on answering pain points, have a section on FAQs at the end, use plain English, those sorts of things. I'd give it the length, and I'd also highlight the keyword that we're trying to rank for, and I'd give it the precise call to action that I want it to use, because otherwise I find that a lot of chatbots give pretty shonky CTAs. So yeah, I want to know at the beginning, what is it that we're trying to make this blog do? Is it moving it to a download, or contact us, or follow us on social media? So we put all that together, this is what a decent prompt would look like in length. I won't read it all out because it's quite long, but you can start to see actually from the example of what a bad prompt looks like, and actually what a decent prompt should look like. So I've put in that character section there, you're a copywriter and content marketing specialist with extensive experience in the charity sector. And then I've given it some context around who I am and what I want it to create. And then in the bottom, I've told it what I want it to do. So read and absorb each of the post examples, pay particular attention to the Google Analytics information, pay attention to the structure and style, analyse some current search trends, and fundamentally this is what I want the blog topics to look like. And then at the end I've also said ask questions one at a time, and then when you've got all the answers that you need, say you're ready and shall you get started, and then I'll approve, and that's when you can produce it. Because again, a lot of chatbots just kind of, you put something in and then they'll just whiz off and give you all this information, and it becomes really overwhelming. So I like to say before I hit return, ask me stuff one by one, and then when you feel you've got everything that you need and we're ready, let me know and I'll approve it. So to finish off, here are some nifty hacks that I like to use with prompting. Words like take a deep breath or think carefully. I don't know why this works, but it does. It kind of forces the model to think slower and digest the information that it's reading. No yapping, so don't give us random bits of fluffy text and information. Just get straight to the point. Take it step by step. So how we break down a large prompt, we're asking it to look back and work through each element step by step so it doesn't miss anything. I like to use banned terms, so this is a great way to remove the AI ick from our outputs and get rid of some of those terms and phrases that chatbots have become so known for. And you can list those as well. You can also upload those as a document in the knowledge section of a prompt. And also the money side, I'm not sure if anyone here has played with this idea, but incentivizing with imaginary money to do a really great job seems to get better results, and so does penalizing with imaginary fines as a last resort, saying, right, you're going to do this again, and if you don't do it well, I'm going to dock £1,000 from your next wages. And the responses are quite funny when they come back when you do penalize. But it is a good way of getting the best outcomes as well. So they're my nifty hacks for prompting, and I've managed to keep that within the 20 minutes, so I hope that was useful, not too overwhelming. There's a QR code on the screen there for a free prompt pack that we created for marketers, so it's all about social media content mainly. But you can link up with me on LinkedIn, would love to be connected. Just search Natalie Luckham or find us on social media at NLY Social. And yeah, hopefully I'll get to meet some of you in person at some point. But thanks for the opportunity, Naomi. Hope that was useful. And
Thanks,
yeah,
Natalie. That's amazing. Thanks so much, Natalie. That's brilliant. Guys, right, the room is now open to you. Has anyone got any questions for Natalie? Let's make the most of her while we got her here. Theo, what is that? Is that a question, or let's just put it up here anyway? Let's see what he says. I spend so much time telling Claude Code to slow down and not always come up with a solution straight away. I prefer a proper back and forth conversation before trying to solve the task.
yeah, I think that's a really great point, and it depends on, again, that's kind of like strategy work, that deep strategy work, isn't it? Using chatbots to ideate and strategize with you is a really good way to get the most out of it, and in doing so, by asking it to take it step by step, you do get the best outputs.
Great, okay, and we have Pete has said, oh, hang on a second, so I'm having some really bad glitchy issues here today on my end. Pete, where's your question? I've got, do you use a combination of all of the platforms, Natalie, or focus on one?
Yeah, that's a really great question as well. Yes, I use a combination of all of them. If you are new to AI and you're a small business and budgets can be an issue, I would say select one and get really good at that. But yes, for me, I see it more as a kind of a tech stack. So I would use ChatGPT for like day-to-day support. I use Claude for my writing, and I'm moving more into our co-pilot space for personal, like client work, basically.
Okay. Jackie, I think that's what are the banned terms?
Yeah, so banned terms are basically providing a list of terms we don't want the chatbot to use. So we see a lot of content out there using "in this ever-changing world" or "in the in today's landscape." All of the words that everyone goes, "Oh my god, that's so AI generated." Well, if you list those on a Word document and tell the chatbot that these are banned from your use, it won't use them.
Okay, really helpful. Theo, oh, hang on a second. Sorry, every time I click on one, someone else puts a new one on. How do you manage all your prompts?
Okay, so I actually, in the early days, we just created a bit of a prompt vault. Anytime we got a really great output from a prompt, I'd add it to a spreadsheet or a Word doc for the team to reuse. Now, actually, we just build custom projects in Claude or custom GPTs in ChatGPT, because then we don't have to continuously prompt. They're already built for the task at hand.
Okay, Shirley. Question for Natalie. What are your thoughts on Perplexity for deep research?
Love Perplexity. I actually prefer Perplexity to ChatGPT for deep research. Don't know why, I've just always been a Perplexity fan. But some of the deep research functions in other chatbots, including ChatGPT, are just as good. So yeah, I just think it's a preference. But yeah, I do like Perplexity. It's very good.
Laura, would you avoid pasting any client data into a prompt?
Yes, I would, unless you're paying for a business license and you've got the guaranteed security. Don't put any client data in.
Okay. Ian, any advice for image work, for example, improving photos with poor lighting or getting rid of shadows?
Yes. We like to use Canva AI. The AI suite within Canva is really good for simple photo edits that you've mentioned. It has like a background remover, but also like a touch-up feature that you can just draw around the elements that you want to delete, remove, change. So that's really great. And also for image generation, I love ideogram. That's a game changer for us in our client work.
So I haven't heard of that. Okay. And then we've got one here from Beata. Okay, how often do you send a blog post created with AI help for customers, and do you use AI to market research of any competitors, basically, I think?
Cool. So yeah, I think there's a couple of questions in there, wasn't there?
Yeah, do you want me to pull it up again?
Yeah, thank you. That'd be great. So first one, I'm not quite sure what this means. How often do you send a blog post created with AI help for customers? I'm not sure what that actually means, but we...
Assistance, like how often do you use AI to assist you maybe for writing blog posts for customers?
Sure, like that? Cool, okay. So we use it all the time, and we're actually very honest with our clients about AI and have been for the last year and a half now, so beginning of 2 years, beginning of 2024. And I do a whole different workshop around how to have conversations with clients about AI, but fundamentally we use it to either just get a first draft or to just put all of our knowledge and what we want into it and create that content as well. And in terms of, do we use AI to do market research? All the time, of our competitors, all the time. It's fantastic for that. Yeah.
Okay. Tim, he says, I have been hearing interesting things like Claude bot, now Maltbot. Yeah. Is your personal data safe with something like this?
So I saw the news about this, or the kind of flurry of interest yesterday. No idea, haven't looked into it yet, so I will come back to you on that.
Okay, good, yeah. And Jackie, is your IP safe if you use AI? I know that some take copyright of what they present, which means they can use it again and again. How do I keep my IP safe?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because ultimately all of these chatbots are trained on data that we're publishing. So it's never going to be unique. There's two things you can do. On the back end of your website, you should be able to switch off the ability for like internet sites and or chat bots to crawl it and to take it. Secondly, you might think about moving your content distribution platform elsewhere. So you might want to create a Substack, for example, or WhatsApp groups or something like that, so that you're not feeding the content outwards. And then secondly, depending on what you're creating, whether it's writing or visuals and video and stuff like that, depending on the platform, you can already be protected by IP. So I can come back another time and do a whole session on IP and GDPR and stuff like that with AI. But in this country, we are protected in some ways, depending on what we're creating.
Brilliant. Oh, thanks so much. That's really helpful. Oh, hang on. I just thought we were wrapping it up then, but there's a couple more questions that have popped in. Theo, hang on, it says, do you ever use AI processes workflow without human intervention approval at your company?
Do I ever use AI processes and workflows without? No, not really. Not currently.
That human
element. And I think that's definitely where it's getting to and evolving in terms of autonomous agents and then being able to talk to each other. But right now I always have human oversight in how they're used.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. That's really, really helpful. I love these 30-minute events. They're really insightful and they pack a punch. And we haven't always got loads of hours in our day, so this is brilliant. There is a link in the chat to access SMEs Unleashed, and you'll be able to see a calendar full of events. The next event for us is our rapid networking, which is just 30 minutes. You get to meet 5 great connections, one-to-one, all in 30 minutes. It's crazy. You've got to strap in for it. It's mad. But they are great and they do work. So do come along to that. Natalie, honestly, thanks so much for your time today. Thanks everyone for joining us. And brilliant. Yeah, have a great day.
Thanks so much, everyone. It was great to meet you. Hope to connect with you all on LinkedIn. See you soon.
Great. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
This is SME Unleashed.